So, what is the difference of the government and an administration? Government, meron kasi tayong tinatawag na Duterte government, Duterte administration. Yung Duterte government, sila yung nag-execute ng law, sila yung nag-execute ng powers. For example, Rodrigo Duterte is part of the government. And sila talaga yung namamahala sa buong country. While ang administration is a representative para magawa at ma-execute yung mga laws at saka yung mga protocols, yung mga gusto mangyari ng government o kaya ng mga laws dito sa country. For example, DILG, COMELEC, yung mga Department of Interior Local Government, Department of Energy, Department of Labor and Employment, all of those departments are actually administrations. Ng administration, part sila ng whole ng government. Think of it as like this. The Duterte government is a broad whole. And part of it is the administration. At pag kinalat-kalat mo yung mga administrations, doon kakalat yung mga iba't ibang mga cabinet positions, mga cabinet titles and offices, etc., etc. So during Marcos's first year, he actually focused on infrastructures, rise efficiency, school buildings, in his first term talaga. The difference with preceding presidents was that more focused on national talaga, like Filipino first policy, more of economic Filipino muna mag-patronize sa products, and insurgent sa mga communists. Marcos at this time really focused more on the interest of the public. And yung mga departments here, he actually adapted the so-called ministry model. So before, meron tayong Ministry of Affairs and the like. Like yung mga prime ministers that's happening today, we already have that before. Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Medicine, and the like. Dapat, just like today, mga qualified candidates sila in order to be part of the so-called ministry. Next na. So at this point, they're being rewarded by political position. So nagkakaroon na ng intervention yung military sa ating country back then. As a result, our country already lost political neutrality. So, doon lumalabas yung mga, ay hindi, kampi ako kay Marcos. It's either, ay kampi lang ako kay Marcos, or hater ako ni Marcos. Wala sa time nun, sa mga bureaucrats, na hindi sila kumakampi kay Marcos and the government and the administration for their self-interests and benefits. Kasi may ambition sila in the positions, like this, like that, which I would say Fidel Ramos was also one of them. They were very successful to have such positions and became Philippine presidents after on when they went to foreign, which I would state later. So, during the second year, ito mahaba-haba yung susunod ko, unlike the first one. This was actually including yung martial law years. This one, nagkaroon ng bureaucracy as politicized na siya. It's not used for the services of the public. It's used for self-interest na ng mga bureaucrats in the positions. It was used by Marcos, according to some references, the term Ilocanization. So basically, kung sino yung loyal kay Marcos that time, bibigyan niya ng award, ng mga rewards or incentives of having rankings in the military. So for example, I'm a loyalist of Marcos. And throughout, I'm spreading his campaign, like this, like that. So at this point, last na to, Marcos also had the process of regionalization. So, each areas, even NCR, nagkaroon ng offices, yung mga bureaucrats, para magkaroon sila ng traditional seat of power. Actually, there was also one issue during the martial law years. Merong mga fake eligibilities of 5,000 people na tinaya lang, which was an inside job because they were just paid ng mga bureaucrats ng mga cabinet positions before. So, nagkaroon nga ng mga fake eligibilities in the country. So, with those fake eligibilities, aside from hindi sila eligible, hindi talaga sila fit for the position. Actually, those teachers are not proficient as they're supposed to be. So, nagkaroon lang ng inside job, ng correlation, kaya nakakapasa lang dun sa exam before, dahil merong mga so-called kakilala sa mga bureaucrats. Next, after the fall, post-martial na to, after EDSA 1, Cory stepped as first female president. So, syempre, as a female figure, iniba niya lahat. Nagkaroon siya ng process, iniba niya yung constitution, it became the Freedom Constitution, nag-demarcosification siya, so ibig sabihin, lahat ng mga bureaucrats, tinanggal niya sa positions. And nahihirapan silang ma-distinguish before kung sino yung tatanggalin at hindi. And that was also the time when nilimit na yung term for presidency. Tsaka bawal na siya magre-run for next elections dahil na-trauma na nga sa nangyari. But that's also according to some references. Next is, nagkaroon din, mas lumala yung mga political butterflies dito. Excuse me. Yung mga Marcos loyalists, naging ni Cory Aquino. So, for example, just a classic example, I'm not pro or against this person. Fidel Ramos, and he became actually Ministry of Defense ni Cory Aquino during her cabinet times. But, he was actually part of Ferdinand Marcos's cabinet as well. So, yun yung nakakapagtaka. Why they are actually switching. So, doon nagsimula yung mga political butterflies to save their political positions. Next is, dito na nag-start yung DAP. So, nagkaroon ng countryside development para magkaroon ng budget sa mga small-scale projects. So, doon nagsimula para sa schools, and I think, doon na nag-start talaga mas ma-expand yung power ng governments at saka ng bureaucracies. Again, going back to Ramos, since he was endorsed by Cory, since he was already part of the Yellow Group, he ran for president. And he actually won kasi siya ng government nun. So, during his time, he was ambitious to implement and establish Philippines 2000. And one of his programs is actually streamlining the bureaucracy. So, during his period, gusto niya talaga malinis na yung issues ng bureaucracy dito. He established the strong republic and make bureaucracy transparent kasi dahil sa mga issues before, and si Cory nag-fail siya, hindi talaga naging successful yung mga issues, how to solve yung kalakaran sa bureaucracy, yung mga pagbabayad, like this, like that. And they have to be accountable for their actions, maging professional. After him was a short political presidential term of Joseph Estrada. Joseph Estrada actually ran for president. He was actually a former movie star. His cabinet members consist of yung mga kakilala niya sa mga kakilala niya sa showbiz. Kaya ayoko talaga sa kanya. Personally, yung mga de facto advisors niya, lahat talaga, with utmost stupidity, nagkaroon talaga ng access sa government. Kahit yung mga walang alam talaga, inalaw niya talaga magkaroon ng access na. But in the end, yung mga inappoint niya na bureaucrats, naging part para mag-testify at mawala siya sa posisyon. At nag-transcend kay Gloria, yung naging vice president niya. But going back, nagkaroon din ng mga midnight appointments to see Estrada. Yung mga cabinets niya, parang ang touring lang niya is yung mga kaibigan niya, na at night, they're just talking, drinking beer. So, parang hindi talaga siya formal na president. And kahit may corruption na nangyayari, it's okay. Kasi, tinotolerate niya yung so-called padrino system or patronage politics. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. Mga utang na loob systems niya, kaya nanalo siya sa elections. Pagtulong sa kanya sa campaigns and that. Next is, nag-succeed sa kanya 9 years si Gloria because ni-replace niya si Erap and she ran for president, which was naging scandalous. But I would be neutral to this. All members ng House of Representatives were Gloria Arroyo's allies. Kaya nangyari, nung kinasuhan siya about Hello Garci, binlock talaga nila. Si Gloria kasi, at her time, masyado siyang matalino. She used yung mga connections niya para ma-protect siya from all those cases. Kaya walang impeachment na nangyari sa kanya. Second, grabe yung bureaucracy. Inflated na siya. 6,000 of executive positions and 3,500 cabinet positions were appointed by Arroyo. So, nag-duplicate na nga yung mga trabaho dito. Minsan, may mga hindi naman kailangan, pero dinadagdagan ng offices. Kaya nawawala yung sense of transparency and accountability. Arroyo's office actually composed of 53 assistants, and as I said, redundant yung mga positions na to. After her was President Aquino. So dito, naging wide yung usage ng KKK, kaklase, kabarilan, at kaibigan. I remember PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde. Although nagkaroon siya ng mga issues ng malpractices sa government, even sa PNP pa lang, sa past experience na, kinuha niya pa rin yun. Kasi may history si Oscar Albayalde and si Pinoy na Oscar Albayalde was Noynoy Aquino's bodyguard. So, siya yung nag-protect nung may kudeta si Cory Aquino, nung time pa lang ng kudeta ni Cory Aquino dati. Pati nung binarel si Noynoy, ganito. So, parang kaibigan na niya at the same time. Matagal na niya kakilala. So, parang trusted niya. And may utang na loob siya. So, kahit may issues, kinuha niya kasi dahil may mga past relationships na silang na-establish. Hacienda Luisita and Barangay Edgar Aguas issue. So this was actually bribery ng Hacienda Luisita. Binayaran si Edgar Aguas para dun sa Hacienda Luisita mapunta yung rights pa rin sa mga uwangkos. That's for his family, if you will ask. The DAP scandal, this was actually the biggest scandal yung PDAP. The DAP scandal was actually a tactic para yung pagkakaroon ng DAP, yung issue na yun, para ma-favor agad, maging bias yung favor kay Chief Justice Corona na mawala siya sa pwesto. Yan yung time na nagkakaroon ng extra DAP, yung mga si Pinay nagdadagdag siya ng budget para panigan siya ng mga bureaucrats, mga nasa possession at yung mga legislature niya. And lastly, nagkaroon pa ng issue dun sa bureaucracy na ginagamit yung pangalan niya sa mga drug-related transactions, pati sa ano ng mga ships, pero hindi nakakasuhan kasi mga kakilala niyang mga may cabinet positions yun. So until now, nagiging endemic ang bureaucracy. During Duterte's administration, I would explain later, the emergence of duplications and cabinet offices, mamaya yun sa current situation. But I want to focus on two. One is questionable appointment of cabinet members such as Mocha Uson, but we cannot say. May mga iba rin kasi nagsasabi na I have to be neutral on this. May mga ibang nagsasabi na hindi siya qualified sa ganitong position, which was Duterte actually appointed her dahil may utang na loob siya kay Mocha Uson who strongly supported him during sa campaign. As in, nung pagiging presidente pa lang ni Duterte, like, wow, sinuportahan na talaga siya ni Mocha Uson sa mga vlogs niya. Although, nagiging issue sa kanya yung mga fake news. So, I don't know ngayon kung ano yung mangyayari. Next is the Marcos and Duterte family relationship. The father of last na. So what happened nga sa modern bureaucracy natin? Let's start from the Marcos administration. So bali, Marcos has 2 terms. Bali 21 years na lang muna. Pero i-divide natin siya from first term and second term. First term was really wow. Marcos actually wanted to focus talaga on infrastructure. Marcos really wanted to focus more on Fatma. Go. The main problem of the Duterte administration going to the current issues is that first, duplication. When I say duplication, there are so many redundant positions that are actually wanting to offer in our government. Let's say, for instance, Department of OFW, but we have POEA, and Department of Water, but we have Maynilad and Manila Water. So what's the problem? We're duplicating departments, but they have the same common goal, the same objective, the same job. It's minimizing efficiency. Hindi nagiging mabilis yung process, nadadagdagan lang yung mga offices here in the Philippines, yung mga cabinet offices. Instead of mapabilis ang trabaho, there are also instances na hindi magkakasundo each sides at kailangan pa nila mag-usap one another. So for example, itong Department of OFW, parang ang unnecessary niya, even though the administration is saying na it will help for benefits, for services, and mas mabibigyan ng opportunities yung iba. Pero kasi ang nangyayari, it's just articulating the self-interests of the people who want to be in cabinet offices. Na hindi nakakasama dun sa mga original, kaya pag gumagawa ka ng ibang offices, doon sila mag-start. So during the time of Ferdinand Marcos, after his time, nagkaroon na ng position sa Liberal Party before. Grabe, napaka-powerful, napaka-phenomenal talaga ng Liberal Party dito sa ating country. Pero ang hindi lang talagang nagpalit was the father of Rodrigo Duterte, which was Vicente Duterte. That time, siya lang talaga, lahat ng mga kasama niya, lumipat talaga sa pwesto. But I think that the biggest issue was that siya pa yung inappoint ni Marcos for cabinet position for special general services. Sa lahat-lahat talaga ng naging kapartido ni Marcos, siya lang talaga yung isa sa nag-mainstay, especially sa Mindanaoan area, si Vicente Duterte. As a result, inappoint pa rin siya sa position, ganito ganyan, and throughout the years, tinulungan si Rodrigo so that he can win the power of Malacanang. So that explains their relationship. Because they have a past relationship na naging loyal naman pala si Vicente Duterte kay Ferdinand Marcos, kaya nagkaroon ng issues. It's not because of any bayaran issue, it's not because of ganito ganyan, but nagkaroon na talaga sila ng past relationship. So parang utang na loob. So doon na naman lumalabas yung patronage politics. Not because binayaran, not because binride, so not because tinakot, but it's because nagkaroon sila ng special relationship sa past na naka-influence kaya nanalo si Duterte during elections. Na kaya napaka-powerful, napaka-marketable niya. That's all.